Hi all, welcome back to the final whistle. It's the Championship predictions week 20 tonight. As the Championship nearly comes to its halfway point, doesn't it? Leicester beat West Brom dramatically late on last weekend. Ipswich, they're carrying on their good run at home. They beat Coventry last weekend. Plymouth, they picked up a 97th minute winner against Stoke City. Another late goal by Norwich. They come back late to beat Bristol City. Leeds and Middlesbrough, 5-goal thriller at Ellen Road. Sheffield Wednesday surprised the Rovers last weekend as they won their game. Southampton kept up their good run of form as they beat Cardiff. So, yeah, a lot of late drama last weekend. But, yeah, let's see what happens this week then in the Championship predictions. Guys, as always, get your predictions in as we go through each game. FootballMartin is going to be joining me very shortly. David Kuze, how are you, mate? Kaysen, how are you? I'm brilliant. Win for the Mighty Foxes against West Brom, it was. Right, guys, if you haven't hit the like button already, please do so. Subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed already and you're new watching tonight, please hit that subscribe button. It'd help me out massively. And, let's get my guest in then, Mr. FootballMartin, and let's get this Championship predictions underway. Martin, how are you, my friend?
Hi, Jack. How's it going, mate? You all right?
I'm all right, Martin.
Big weekend of action again. Big weekend.
Yeah, it's nearly coming to its halfway
I've
point,
got a few
isn't it, the
new
Championship?
subscribers on my YouTube channel, and I broadcast this on there as well, so they can all see it. So there's you might get some extra comments. We just had one from Luke there. I think it's a new subscriber to one of my channels. So cheers, Luke.
Fantastic. Like I say, Martin, the Championship's coming to its halfway point, near enough now. 20 games, which will be this weekend. What did you make of last? Like I say, last weekend. Leicester, late drama at the Hawthorns. Norwich left it late to beat Bristol City. Also, the late drama at Plymouth as they overseen Stoke. Quite a few late goals, Martin, went in last weekend.
Yeah, there was. It seems to be a bit of a theme in the Championship this year. The added time as well that they're adding on as well. It makes for dramatic conclusions to games, doesn't it? Luckily, the Southampton game was done and dusted inside the first 15 minutes last week, so I didn't have to worry about late goals. But it seems to be a bit of a thing in the Championship at the minute is late goals, and we'll see through the statistics as we look through the teams dropping points late in games. We'll see that as we go on as we preview the weekend's games. Yeah, there's a bit of a trend for sure.
There is. All the top four won last weekend: Leicester, Leeds, Ipswich, Southampton. I believe it's the first time this season all four teams in the top four have won on the same day.
Yeah, no one seems to drop any points, Jack, do they, at the moment? Ipswich, they seem to let in a lot of goals, don't they? I think they're averaging 2 goals a game they're letting in at the moment, Ipswich, but they're still getting wins. They won't be able to keep doing that, though, because it will catch up with them, I would think. But yeah, the 3 sides, 4 sides, they're all, there's 3 of us chasing Leicester down. I think they're running away with it, Leicester, and I think the run of fixtures that they have now look very favourable to them. I'd expect come the end of this Christmas period that they'll be in firm control of this Championship. It's just whether Ipswich can keep pace and keep that second spot, because Leeds are breathing down their necks now and Saints are not far behind.
Martin, but when we spoke last week about managers, two managers have lost their job in the last week.
They have, yeah.
Michael Duff at Swansea and Tony Mowbray at Sunderland. Do them sort of sackings come to a surprise to you, really? I mean, Swansea haven't been doing great under Michael Duff. I think he's kind of been on thin ice there, hasn't he? And then you talk about Tony Mowbray, things haven't gone well this season as they would have last season. Talk to me about the two sackings.
Really surprised at the Sunderland sacking more than anything, really. I like Mowbray. I think he's a decent manager. A lot of the Sunderland fans felt that his time was up there. But he has a really good pedigree, knows the league really well. And they're not far off the playoff places anyway. I'm going to double check it in a minute and look at the championship standings as it stand. But they're not in a horrific position by any stretch of the imagination. They've got 27 points at the moment. They're in 9th position. And you've got West Brom, who are in playoffs, 32. So they're not far off it, really, in the grand scheme of things. A few more wins, and that they're right in the mix. Michael Duff, I'm not so surprised at. I've got to be honest. I think that he struggled to follow in Russell Martin's footsteps there, hasn't he? I think Martin probably he done well with a limited budget and money that they spent. They obviously sold their top talisman to Leeds United in Joel Piero in the summer. They didn't replace him, and it was always going to be an uphill battle for Duff. But it's who goes in there and takes that one on. It won't be an easy job because they're in a relegation fight, you would say, at the moment, Swansea. They're right in that mix. They won't go down, but you wouldn't think they would. But they'd have to get the next appointment pretty right, you would think now.
Yeah, I agree. The playoff places, I mean, Southampton's in there, Leeds, West Brom. Even Hull. I mean, Hull dropped points last weekend against Watford. A 45-yarder strike. Martin seen all 3 points for Watford. I think Hoot scored for
Wesley Hoyt.
Watford. Wesley Hoyt.
Very, very, very good goal from a centre half. That's for sure. He had a period of time at Southampton. He was bought actually in one of our worst summer transfer windows of all time, and he was one of the players that's bought in. He had a pretty torrid time on the South Coast, but he's probably found his level in the Championship, and it was a great goal, Jack. Really, really good goal, and probably a shock result on its day as well.
Yeah, I think you can agree with that. With how things are going for Hull at the minute under Liam Rossini. Then you look at the bottom, Martin. Sheffield Wednesday and QPR both won last weekend. Rotherham ended up being halted by Birmingham City, where a draw. What did you make of the 3 teams in the relegation battle? I mean, Blackburn, everyone expected them to go to Sheffield Wednesday and get 3 points. But, Sheffield Wednesday, like they did against Leicester, they frustrated Blackburn and ended up winning the game 3-1, Martin. I mean, Sheffield Wednesday seems to have picked up a bit of form, and so have QPR.
Yeah, just starting to settle into his job there, Danny Roll, at Wednesday. Started to get a couple of results. I still think that they're going to struggle. They've got Stoke this weekend, which is not an easy game. Got to go to the Bet365. Stoke not in a great deal of form, but all the same, still a hard game. Under fire manager at Stoke City as well. He's under a lot of pressure. Alex Neil, they say. A lot of fans calling for his head at Stoke, which I read this week. And then you look at QPR, they made the managerial change and brought Marty Cifuentes in, and he's done a really good job, Jack. You look at the results since he's gone in, only 1 loss in 5 games since he arrived at Queen's Park Rangers. They won 2 and drawn 2 and obviously lost the 1. So he'd be very happy. I think the back-to-back wins last week were vital for QPR, and there's no doubt that if there's a side that will get themselves out of it, it will probably be QPR. If they went and bought a striker in the window, I think they'd give themselves a hell of a chance. But I wouldn't be surprised with QPR. I think there'll be a bit of a scrap down there at the bottom. Rotherham have picked that obviously they're in and out. They're struggling away from home. Hard place to go and play at times. But Huddersfield were the one I was going to say. They got Bristol City at home the weekend. You just never know with Huddersfield. They're on a little bit of a roll. Darren Moore's been backed publicly by the owner as well now. Yeah. 3-match unbeaten run since the international break for Huddersfield, Jack. So they'll be fancying their chances and staying up as well.
Agreed. The Evans boys are in it. Plymouth. Let's get this predictions on the way, Martin. We start at the Rico Arena, better known as the CBS now these days. They take on Birmingham in what you'd call a Midlands derby between the two. Coventry lost last weekend to Ipswich by another 2-1 defeat. Birmingham, I mean, what can you say about Birmingham? They beat Sheffield Wednesday but couldn't beat Rotherham. How do you find this game, Coventry versus Birmingham, Martin?
Been an interesting one. Mark Robins, good manager. I've always liked him. It's not been an easy season though, but he was pretty disappointed with the result last weekend. He said it was sad watching Ipswich. He said because he felt like it was watching his team last season, and it is a bit of a contrast, isn't it, this season with Coventry? They have struggled a lot. They're a mid-table side at the moment. It was their 7th defeat last weekend in 19 games already this season. Just 5 fewer than the tally they lost in all 46 games in the Sky Bet Championship last season, en route to Wembley in that playoff final. But they've only been beaten once at home, Jack, on home soil, Coventry. They've won 3, drawn 5 and lost 1. But Rooney's under big pressure, you would have to say, Jack, wouldn't you, at the moment?
Yep. It's a tough one, isn't it, with Cov?
Yeah, it is. It's a big one. I think for Rooney, managed just 1 victory so far as manager, drawn 2, lost 5. And he's faced Robins a few times actually as the Derby manager. So as a coach, Jack, he's faced Mark Robins 5 times, like I said, in the dugout, more than any other manager. And to be fair, mate, there's been very little success in that. In his time at Derby, he lost 3. He drew 3, and he's lost 3 games against him as a manager. So, the omens don't look great for Rooney. Jay Stansfield will be his big man at the weekend. He avoided picking up a 5th yellow card at the weekend as well because he was on a verge of getting a game suspension. So he didn't get booked, so he's available and he's pretty key for them. He's scored a few goals for them. He's an important player to have available this week. But the hot streak, mate, was Birmingham have conceded the first goal of the game in 5 straight away matches so far, losing 7 on the spin on their travels overall.
Yep. Martin taking over the final whistle. It's because I had to go and get my laptop charger. I left it in the other room and my laptop was dying, so I had to bloody run while Martin were talking. I was still bloody listening though.
Kept it rolling.
But no, Coventry, like I said, they're the draw specialists, aren't they, like Huddersfield. Mark Robins, you could say, is under some pressure at Cov. Haji Wright in this game is got to be scoring. I think this game, like I say, is a game of Haji Wright versus Mr. Stansfield. But this game for me, do I see it being quite a lot of goals in the game? No. I don't think both sides have really been scoring enough this season for me to say, do you know what, this is going to be an entertaining Friday night football. Coventry at home, I mean, I don't think they've bloody won many at home after this season. So the Midlands derby itself, I reckon this one will go with I tell you what, I'm going to go for I'm not sure. I'll let you go first, Martin, on this one.
I'm going to go with a Birmingham win, mate. I'm going to go with an away win, 2-1 Birmingham in this.
2-1 Birmingham. I'm going to go 2-1 Birmingham. Yeah, I think Birmingham just edge it for me. Let's have a look what everyone else is saying. 2-0 Cov. Trials gone for 1-0 to Coventry, 0-0. Both sides are awful. I guess you can argue the fact that both sides haven't been on the best of form. But then if you look at Rooney's record over Mark Robins, then, I think you could say that Rooney just edges it. But, it's one of them. Martin will go to the other dinner time kickoff for this one. We've gone from Friday night now to Saturday dinner time. This is one of the dinner time kickoffs. Blackburn Rovers versus Leeds United. Sammy Smodics versus Joel Perreault. talk to me about this game. How big of a game is this one for Leeds? I mean, Leeds haven't been on the best of away form this season, you could argue. Their home form at home, they're unbeaten, aren't they, Leeds at home, I think, this season. And their away form, they kind of keep dropping points. And this is one where you could probably say this one could be a banana skin for Leeds again. Obviously, they drew with Rotherham. They've picked up many draws away from home, haven't they, this season, Leeds? But Blackburn, they lost last weekend to Sheffield Wednesday. They'll look to change that this weekend and put it right. Delo Smodics can be on target quite a bit. Leeds, though, you've always got the Dan Jameses, haven't you? The Somervilles, the Joel Perreaults, the Jorginho Rutters of Leeds United. They've got the quality there, haven't they, Leeds, to beat Blackburn.
Absolutely.
But what do you reckon with this one, Martin? What's the stats in this one?
John Dale Thomason serves a one-match touchline ban in this game, Jack, because he had a red card against Sheffield Wednesday at the weekend, so he won't be on the touchline in this one, which is always a blow as a manager having to sit in the stands. Blackburn's form, like you said, is hit and miss. Leeds, though, that they're on the back of 6 games unbeaten right now. They've won 5, drawn 1. They're a force to be reckoned with, Leeds United. You've got to say, I think that they've got some very, very good players, but
Martin, you there, mate? Martin looks like he's crashed. I don't know if everyone could see it on their end. Martin? I don't know what's happened there. I do not know what's happened there. Martin's froze. He's froze, has he? Is he there? No, it looks like he's froze. He's gone. Do you see what I mean? Now I've got to do it on my own. No, I'm joking. Yeah, you guys can help me in the comments. Want me to hop on, provide some content. What do you actually do, Dominic, regarding football content? Are you sure he's not fresh, or is he frozen? Well, Martin's gone for the minute. Yeah, Blackburn versus Leeds then. Like I say, Blackburn, they're on a run of form before the Sheffield Wednesday game. Sheffield Wednesday, won that game. Yeah, awful Blackburn was. Like I said, like Martin said, John Dole Thomason will be missing this game with the 1-game ban. But yeah, let's see if I can get back in. Martin, how are you,
man,
mate?
I think it's my connection. I'm not sure, but it just totally kicked me out for some reason.
Yeah, we'll play musical statues at one point, Martin. Carry on what you were saying, Martin. Carry on. You was on about you just got past the John Dole Thomason red card.
Yeah, so John Dale Thomason's going to miss the game, obviously, through that sending off. But yeah, they're hit and miss, aren't they, Blackburn? Certainly, sort of at home and away. Leeds, though, that they're on the back of 6 unbeaten, 1-5, drawn 1. So they're in really good form. The main man at the moment, they keep raving about him, is Somerville. 6 goals and 5 assists across the last 9 appearances. Hot stat for you, though. Blackburn Rovers have conceded 7 home goals after the 75th minute in the games this season. It's a joint league high, that one, Jack.
So Leeds will look to beat them late on then. So we might see some late drama then, Martin, at Ewood Park. Let's put it that way then. This one's a tough game for Leeds. It is. Like I said, it could be a potential banana skin. Leeds, though, like I said, they've got the quality in that, and they are unbeaten. Most of their wins have come from home this season. But Leeds, I know Leeds fans moan about is it the away kit, is it? They say they don't really do
Yeah.
well in the pink sort of away kit. They don't win in that away kit. So, you know what I mean? It could be one of them if they put that away kit on there. It gives Blackburn a chance, does it? But no, you can't always blame the bloody kit, can you, Martin? Let's be honest.
Kit, mate.
You know, it's the players on the pitch. I'll tell you what, I'll see this one as a 1-1 draw for me.
Yeah, it's a draw. Yeah, no, it'd be interesting. It'd be a nice result for Southampton if they could go and get 3 points at the weekend. I'd happily take that, Jack.
What are you going for in result, Martin?
I think Leeds are going to edge it. I've got to be honest. I just think they'll have too much for Blackburn in this one. I'm going to go with a 3-2 Leeds United victory.
3-2. Interesting. Let's have a look in the comments, see what everyone else is saying. Anything could happen in football. 2 of them was Leicester. Evening, guys. How are you both? Thanks again, Martin, for putting me on your YouTube. That's Josh.
You're welcome, Josh. No worries.
The next one, Martin, we are going to go to the Stadium of Light. Managerless Sunderland versus West Bromwich Albion. I mean, West Brom conceding late against Leicester. Seeing West Brom's unbeaten run come to an end. You know, Leicester, West Brom was a battle, wasn't it, between the two sides? That was the dinner time kickoff last weekend. But this one, Sunderland, this is about proving, you know, they can actually go and compete. You know, Jack Clark, Patrick Roberts, you know, they're the sort of players in this game where you think, you know what, they could do something in this game and go and get something against West Brom. But Sunderland, if you're looking at recent results, they've not really been cutting it after Martin, really. They've not been winning games. Tony Mowbray lost his job and, you know, West Brom are going to be licking their lips in this game thinking, you know what, this could be 3 points for us here. But I tell you what, I'm going to back West Bromwich Albion in this one, Martin. For me, I think West Brom will have a little too much for Sunderland. I think West Brom's got that quality to beat Sunderland. I think it'll be a close game, though, between the two sides at the Stadium of Light. But I think West Brom edge it for me, 2-1.
Yeah, I think West Brom edge it. They're a good side. They're odds on for the playoffs at the moment if they can keep this momentum going. They look a really strong outfit, managerless Sunderland, like you said. But the Stadium of Light, you guarantee it won't be a draw because it hasn't witnessed a draw this season yet, Jack, so far. And the home fans, they'll be looking to get a win, though they're managerless and they're not sure who's going to come in there. But Corberan has done a good job at West Brom. We said it last week on the show, didn't we, that he's done really, really well as manager there. Some good battles going on as well. I saw today that West Brom's goalkeeper Alex Palmer has faced Sunderland in the Championship and on 2 occasions, Jack. And the final score has been 2-1 each time. 1-1 and lost 1. So, he's played against them a few times. Jack Clark, he got Sunderland's equaliser last weekend, making it the 5th time in his last 8 Championship appearances that he has netted the 2nd goal of the game. He keeps scoring goals, doesn't he, Jack Clark?
Sunderland will win 2-2. I don't think he can win by winning 2-2, Ross.
No, definitely not.
What do you reckon then, Martin? Which way are you going in this one, mate?
2-1 West Brom in this one. I think West Brom will edge it.
Yep. Next one, Martin. We're going to go to the Cardiff City Stadium. Cardiff v Millwall is the game. Cardiff, you know, doing all right this season, aren't they? Of where they are. I mean, they are competing under Errol Bullitt really well. They've lost a few games, haven't they? You know, but you know they've been in games more than not. You know what I mean? This season, Cardiff City Stadium is not going to be an easy place to go for many teams this season. Let's be honest. You got that feel factor from Norwich when they was on a bit of a run at the start of the season. The face of Millwall side, though, Martin, who's a bit mixed bag in results, aren't they, under the new manager? How do you see this one going at the Cardiff City Stadium?
Well, the jury's definitely out on Joe Edwards, really, to be fair. He failed to secure his first home win last weekend, though they come pretty close, didn't they, in that 1-1 draw to Sunderland. They squandered a 1-0 lead very late on. And again, late goals that we were talking about earlier. But Millwall's only 2 league wins since September is not ideal. It's seen them slump right down the table as well, isn't it? They've not beaten a club starting this round in the top half of the table, which Cardiff are. You wouldn't see Millwall getting a result in this. I'm going to go with a Cardiff win. I think they looked all right at St. They weren't great at St Mary's last week, Cardiff, but they're a better side than Millwall, you would think. I'm going to go with. I have to go with some more goals because I'm going with loads of 2-1s. So I'm actually going to go with I'm going to go with a 3-0 Cardiff win, even though they didn't look like scoring at St Mary's last week. I just think maybe they just have a rocket thrown up them. But they were the 11th consecutive team to drop points to Southampton last week with that 2-0 loss. The Saints were pretty dominant in that game.
I'll tell you what, Martin, I'll go 2-0 to Cardiff. I think they'll get a 2-0 win this weekend. A quick chorus of men of what will they get them over the line? 2-0. That's the thing. Will Cardiff get over the line this weekend? They've got to. The next one, Martin, is Huddersfield versus Bristol City. Bristol City, I mean, conceded very late on last weekend, conceding 3 points to Norwich. I mean, what is your thoughts on Huddersfield and Bristol City? I mean, can Huddersfield upset Mr. Manning? I mean, can they go and get something here? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, they led for more than 90 minutes last weekend at Swansea, but it was a 94th minute leveller that denied them the 3 points last week. So they done well at Swansea last week. I think they give Bristol City a good game. Bristol City, though, are a really well organised side. Yep. I know that Josh is tuning in watching this, who's a massive Bristol City man. So I don't want to go be harsh and go against Bristol City in this one. I think they go there and I think they'll be organised. It could end up as a stalemate, this one. Don't often go for 0-0s, mate, to be fair. But I might just go with a 0-0. Bristol City's away league games this term, though, they've averaged a league low, Jack. 0.56, yeah. First half goals per game. Not loads of goals in the first half when they're involved. I am going to go, mate, with a 0-0 because I never, ever do that. So I'm going to go 0-0. Huddersfield 0, Bristol City 0.
I'm going to go
happy with me.
I'm going to go 1-0 Bristol City.
It won't be loads of goals in it. I don't think there'll be loads of goals in this one.
I don't think so.
Be a tight one.
Yeah. Next one, Martin. We're off to the King Power Stadium. Leicester take on the Green Army in Plymouth. They're coming to the King Power Stadium this weekend. These two sides last met at the King Power Stadium in 2009. The Foxes won 1-0. A late winner by Andy King. Leicester, you know, late winner last weekend. Harry Winks with a 94th minute winner for the Foxes. Plymouth, on the other side of the coin, picked up a 97th minute 2-1 win over Stoke City last weekend. So both sides loved a bit of late action last weekend, but this time, you know, it's a Dewsbury Hall versus Whittaker, isn't it, this sort of game? Leicester have got to be well drilled in this game. You know, Plymouth, though, will be no easy opponents. Is it Scamacher, is it? He's doing well as Plymouth's manager. You know, he's got them playing some decent football this season. I do think they'll stay up, but I think with Leicester, they'll be too strong for Plymouth in this game. I think Plymouth will get us a game and try and make it difficult for us and try and keep us out for as much as they can in the game and come and sit deep. But I think Leicester will have enough with the quality to get through Plymouth, and I think Leicester win this quite comfortably, Martin, for me. I tell you what, I'm gonna have a look at this one. I'm gonna go for a 2-0 Leicester. 2-0 Leicester for me. What do you reckon?
Win it. Yeah, Plymouth. Yeah, they've had 2 good victories, haven't they? Prior to this, so they're 16th in the league, 6 points clear of relegation zone. So they're not in a too bad a place, to be honest. That home form we spoke about is really, really important for them, but they don't travel very well at all, Jack. They're not great on the road. They've they're now just three sides who have yet recorded an away win in England's second tier this term. So they just don't win away from home, mate. They've lost all five outings on their travels, which they've conceded the opener in this season. So I don't know. I don't fancy them at all, Jack. I think it'd be a comfortable victory for Leicester City. Main man, Drewsbury Hall. They got a good song for Drewsbury Hall. I heard it the other day. I was I can't, what's it from Wonderwall, isn't it? They sing.
It's Wonderwall.
Yeah, it's legendary song. Legendary. I love that. But he's the main man though, Jack, for them. He looks like he's in really, really good form for you guys. He definitely have a say in this one, won't he? I'm going to go with. Did he score and assist last weekend? Am I right in saying that, Drewsbury Hall?
Yeah, he scored and assisted. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what the statistics were saying. Yeah, I'm going to go with the 3-0 Foxes winning this one.
3-0 Leicester.
Yeah.
Leicester. These are the games Leicester should be winning. Should.
Yeah.
You know, I know you can't overlook Plymouth, but I do think we'll have that quality to get in behind, and it's just about taking your chances, Martin. You know what I mean? I think, you know, Plymouth will be there to frustrate Leicester. Obviously, Whittaker, he's their danger man, isn't he? He's the man who's banging in the goals. I think in the summer, teams are going to come in for him. I think he'd fit well in some of these higher championship teams. Obviously at the right price, but I think the link up between Dewsbury Hall and Harry Winks this season has been phenomenal. We've just got to get out the blocks early on and get at Plymouth and cause them problems from the start. And I think if we could get the first goal, then Leicester, they'll dominate the game for me. But no, I think, like I say, Plymouth will fight to the finish, but. And that's obviously what I want to see. Teams coming in and giving it a go against us. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because this league, it can be very harsh. We've seen it. But at the end of the day, I do think we'll win this one quite comfortably. Obviously, we're a side this season who like to keep a lot of possession in it, so we've just got to be more clinical than that, like Enzo says. And our home form is quite good as well, I think. We've picked up quite a lot of points at home this season. So, yeah, I think we've only lost to Leeds and Hull at home this season, so it's all good. But Leicester need that win to keep Ipswich at bay, innit, Martin? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's all about importance. Talking about Ipswich, Martin, that's where we're going next. Middlesbrough v Ipswich. Middlesbrough, like you said, have got 10 injuries. Ipswich, not the best away from home, to be honest. No. If they're at home, you'd say Ipswich will, get 3 points here. But Middlesbrough, they battered Preston, didn't they, at home? I think that was their last home game. Narrowly lost to Leeds with a red card. Middlesbrough look like they're giving it a right go, Martin, under Michael Carrick. Now it looks like he's got that team playing to his tune now. But they're facing an Ipswich side who were very competitive, very aggressive, can play the ball through you 9 times out of 10. But Middlesbrough beat Leicester, and they'll think if they could beat Leicester, then they've got a chance against the team who's second in the league. So they've got a lot to fight on with in this game, Borough.
They do.
Which way do I see this one going, though? I tell you what, I see Ipswich just winning this one, 2-1 for me.
Yeah, I think Ipswich will edge it, though I think they got 8 injuries, Middlesbrough, and they got 2 suspensions this weekend. One of those being Ismail Jones, who's going to miss this weekend. So it's a huge amount of injuries there. So they are depleted a bit. But yeah, the Riverside's a good place for Borough. They've won 5 of their last 6 league games at home. They've only lost the 1. So the last game at home, we're just trying to see if they played in their last game. Borough, though, they're unbeaten
Preston.
at home. Yeah, Preston. So yeah, they're head to head in this one against Ipswich. is quite interesting. They've won 5 and drawn 2 in the head-to-head. But
Bloody hell.
but they travel. The Tractor Boys. They're in the back of an 8-game unbeaten without a clean sheet. So 8 games without a clean sheet. They've won 4, drawn 2, lost 2. But they let a lot of goals in, Ipswich, don't they? Let way too many goals in. But Jack, there was a statistic that I did see today. History will be made for Ipswich as 48 points after 20 rounds would set a new record for the double promotion chasers at this stage of any season across the top 4 tiers in English football. Thought that was quite interesting. Ipswich have never lost back-to-back away games under boss Kieran McKenna either.
Yeah.
But you say, like with Middlesbrough, they say the standout player, and I see that he done well last weekend, was Latte Lath for Middlesbrough.
Yep.
He scored last weekend. He looks really good. I think he's got 4 league goals this season. But then you got George Hurst down the other end, and he's been really good for Ipswich. So he's having a big impact in their season. You've got to say he's been really, really good. I think he scored in their last three victories, and he's had 2 assists as well. George Hurst, that is.
So what you reckon then, Martin? What way you going in this Ipswich game?
All right. Do you know what? I love it to be a draw. Do you know what?
I'd love it to be a draw and all.
I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw just because of the fighting spirit that Borough possess.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm gonna change mine from a 2-1 Ipswich to 1-1 Ipswich.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go 1-1. I think
you take that. Yeah,
I want. Obviously, you want it. You want. It's kind of like, you know what I mean. Teams like Leeds, Southampton, Leicester. They obviously want Ipswich to drop points. And Middlesbrough, looking at their record against Middlesbrough and on the road, it's kind of like they're shipping goals like it's no one's business. Do you know what I mean? They weren't conceding many at first, and now this season they're starting to. You can see there where you can hit Ipswich in it, but they always seem to be a side who they don't know when they're beaten, and
no, they don't.
This is the thing. I'm going to 1-1. Norwich versus Preston, Martin. Norwich picked up a big win last weekend at Bristol City. Preston lost to QPR. I think Preston have picked up 2 wins in 12 games, is it now?
Yeah, they're in bad form, aren't they?
How do you see this one going at Carrow Road?
Well, the Canaries now, they've been up and down this season, but the result last weekend puts them 4 points in touch and distance of the playoffs, so that's quite the turnaround, you've got to say. But they failed, David Wagner's side, they failed to score in only 1 match so far this season. They are the great entertainers of the division, they're saying, and they average 3.6 goals a game, if you work that out off the 19 that they've played so far. So I think we could be in for a goal fest in this one, I've got to say. They let goals in, but they score a lot as well. 524-mile round trip for Preston, so a bit of travelling for them. They won't enjoy that. It's a 2-game day week as well. I'm edging it, to be fair, mate. I'm going to go with a 4-2 Norwich win.
4-2
goals, mate. Going to go 4-2. Gabriel Sarr, he's contributed to at least 1 goal in each of the last 5 home matches.
Bloody hell.
He's a top player, isn't he?
I'm going 2-1 Norwich.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I don't see there being many goals between them. Preston kind of in some poor form, aren't they? Let's be honest. They're great. They can pick up wins, but then I don't know. Dave's gone 3-2. And next one, Martin's Queen's Park Rangers, a side who's unbeaten in their last 2 now. 2 wins from 2 for the Rangers. They face a Hull City side who last time they played away drew 2-2 with Swansea, I believe. So Hull obviously lost last weekend to Watford, 2-1. Do you see Hull turning it around this time, or can QPR go and upset the Tigers?
Yeah, I think they potentially could do, to be fair. But they've given themselves a massive survival boost with those 2 victories last week. They've done really, really well. The games were close together. And like I said at the top of the show, that Marty Cifuentes has done well since he's gone down there. And he's only had 1 defeat in 5 games. They've won 2, drawn 2, and lost the 1. So they're now 4 points from safety, QPR. And I've read a few comments from their fans this week. And they all are starting to believe again when they felt that they were doomed under Gareth Ainsworth. They felt that they were going down. But Hull, they were defeated by Watford last weekend with that extraordinary 40-yard lob like we spoke about. Rossini described it as painful to lose last weekend. But, yeah, you just never know with Hull, mate. They don't travel that well. I was looking at their statistics on travelling and they just... so they've had 1 victory across the last 5 league away games, drawn 2, lost 2. Shows that there's loads of room for improvement on their away form. Hot stat, 7 of Hull City's 9 league matches on their travels this season have seen the opener arrive within the first 20 minutes of a game. But I'm gonna go with a QPR win in this.
So you're not going against them this week, Martin?
No, I'm going to go with a 2-1 QPR win. Upset the apple cart.
Yeah. I tell you what, I'm going 1-0 QPR.
Yeah, I feel that this Cifuentes is going to be top. Could be the saviour. Could be an absolute masterstroke by the board.
I think Philogene will have chances for QPR, but
Philogene's been nominated for the player of the month.
For Hull City, sorry, not QPR.
Yeah, he's been nominated for the player of the month as Jaden Philogene. I saw the nominations today. I'm pretty sure that get maybe tomorrow they'll announce who's won it. But Philogene, Adam Armstrong,
Smollett's a win that,
Smodic,
I think.
And there was the defender from Huddersfield, I think, as well. I can't think of his name now.
Yeah, I think Smodic's or Armstrong will win that.
Yeah, I think it'd be good. It could be a double for Southampton because the manager has been nominated for the manager of the month as well as Russell Martin. He's in there. Yep. John Dale Thomason's been selected in that group of managers. It's had a very good month.
I think Southampton will win that. They haven't lost a game, have they? So, you only got to get to the unbeaten team in the month.
Yeah.
Martin, the next one we go to Rotherham.
Yeah.
They take on Swansea this weekend. Managerless Rotherham still. A side who a very depleted Rotherham side, but can pick points up from home. I believe they picked up 12 points at home all season. Swansea side were managerless as well. A lot to play for in this game between both sides. Swansea, obviously,
7 now.
Yeah. And then, obviously, Swansea, they need to start picking up the points. They hope that Yates can start finding his scoring boots because he hasn't been finding them as he is of late. And but Rotherham at home, they'll feel they've got a chance here. And I think for me, Rotherham and Swansea will end up. Tell you what, I'm gonna go 2-1 to Swansea.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a Swansea win. I'm gonna go with a 1-0 Swansea win.
Yeah, I don't see many goals in this game again.
No, 7 points adrift, aren't they now, Rotherham?
Oh.
Not in good shape at all.
2-1 Rotherham. Bloody hell. If that happens, bloody hell. Martin, we go to Sheffield Wednesday's game now against Stoke. You talked about this one earlier. How big of another game is this one for Danny Roll? He's picked up 4 points in his last 2 games. Yeah. A point against Leicester, 3 points against Blackburn. Sheffield Wednesday don't travel well away from home this season, Martin.
No, they don't.
Stoke, though, Alex Neil's under pressure. Stoke conceded that 97th minute defeat last weekend. And how do you find Stoke versus Sheffield Wednesday? Has Sheffield Wednesday got a chance in this one, do you reckon? Do you reckon Danny Roll could turn this season around?
You never know. You never know. Stoke City, they're without a victory in 5 championship games now, drawn 2, lost 3. 2-1 loss at Plymouth Argyle saw them slip to 20th, mate, in the league. Potters are making it the second consecutive encounter in which they've led before going on to lose.
Yep.
Pressure's mounting on their manager, you've got to say, on Alex Neil. Return to home as well is a good omen for Stoke. They've notched up 6 of their 8 wins this season at home. So they fancy their chances on home soil. But the Owls, though, mate, I don't know. I'm not sure. Big win last weekend against Blackburn, that 3-1 victory. But like you say, they don't travel that well. Josh Windass, I saw, he scored at the weekend, meaning that his last 10 league goal scoring appearances have all ended with him on the winning side. So he's a key man, Windass. Don't know. It's going to be goals in it. The hot stat from this one, actually, that I read today, both sides have seen 7 of their last 19 championship games this season feature goals from both teams on the day. The joint fewest in the competition too. So I'm going to go, with that being said, Jack, I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, I'm going 2-2. I'm going 2-2 for that one. Now you've said that, I'm going to go 2-2. Last one, Martin, is your boys, Watford versus Southampton. Southampton now beaten an 11. Watford, though, I mean, they've only lost 1 in the last so many now, haven't they? Watford are really doing well. Mr. Ismail has really found his feet at Watford now, you know. They look a real threat. Can the Hornets go and sting the Saints in this game? That's the question. Watford have really found their form at home now. They look really really tight to beat. Their last home game, they won 3-2 against Norwich after being 2-0 down. This Watford side now has got fight, hasn't it, and real urgency about it. And they can be aggressive in going to take the games to teams like Saints and that. But Southampton have got that quality, haven't they, with Armstrong up front who can bang in the goals. Ryan Fraser, he's known to the Championship where he can score goals. He did it for, obviously, Bournemouth. How do you find your game at Vicarage Road, Martin, being a Southampton fan?
I think it's a really tough place to go and play right now. They've lost just one of their last 9 league outings. They've won 5, drawn 3. They're closing in on the playoffs. They stuck with their manager. They went like 5 games winless, didn't they, at one stage this season?
Yeah.
They stuck with him. You'd probably say it was the right thing to do. It's not something that they normally do. Defence is pretty solid as well. Only West Brom have kept more clean sheets in the division than Watford, 7. So they don't let loads of goals in. Southampton have got tighter at the back as well.
Yeah.
But we should have more than enough to beat them. Head-to-head against them is very good. Southampton, they've won 8, drawn 6 and lost 2. I think we should have a little bit too much. I don't like saying that we'll win games, though. I hate saying, we'll win games. Adam Armstrong, key man for us. He's directly contributed to 16 league goals this term. He's scored 12 and he's assisted in 4 as well. It's a joint league high ahead of this game. So, I fancy Adam Armstrong again. He looks really good. I'm going to go with a Southampton 2-1 win.
2-1. I tell you what, I'm going to back Southampton to win 3-1.
2-1 win, yeah.
3-1 for me. Right, Martin, that is it, mate. I know you were frozen out earlier on, but talk to me about your channel, Martin, and where everyone can find you, pal.
Yeah, majority of my content goes onto TikTok at the moment because it seems to get the most interaction. So loads of fan cams that I've been doing at games that I've been going to, loads of interaction with fans, not just from Southampton, but from all the clubs in the Sky Bet Championship. Loads of content on my YouTube at FootballMartin_. Same on TikTok. Give me a follow. Instagram, I'm all over it, but it's not just Southampton content. I'm trying to do a bit of Championship content as well. So join me. Loads of lives coming up as well. So we'll preview the Southampton game tomorrow afternoon in a little bit more detail. We'll do some score predictions on Saturday and probably do some sort of live around the Southampton game, finishing on the weekend. So I'm always creating something good, Jack. That's for sure.
Yeah, appreciate that, Martin. Martin,
Thank
take
you.
care, mate. And
Thank you, mate.
I'll
Cheers.
catch up with you soon.
Thank you, my friend.
See you later. That was Football Martin. Guys, as always, if you've enjoyed this stream, hit the like button. Remember to subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. We do all Championship content, Leicester City content, and all that. But yeah, thanks for everyone for watching. Really appreciate everyone coming in and giving their views and all that, and getting involved. What's coming up on the final whistle? So tomorrow night we've got the match preview as Leicester take on Plymouth. I'll have a Plymouth podcast coming to join me for that one to talk about the Leicester-Argyle game. We'll have the match day vlog out on Saturday as Leicester take on Plymouth. It should be a good game of football. But no, thanks for watching as always. Take care. Great stream, Jack. Thank you. See you all and take care. Yeah, take care, Mr. Trial. But no, take care, everyone. And I'll see you again tomorrow night for the match preview. Bye-bye for now. Keep it here at the final whistle. Hi all, thank you for watching the final whistle. If you enjoy all our content, please remember to smash a like, share and subscribe to the channel.